welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are working with the My Pattern number 9. So right out the gate, you can see that I need to send 3 strings to the right and 3 strings to the left. So the ones to the right were the 2 oranges and a yellow, and the ones to the left were the 2 purples and a blue. And this kind of works out because my strings are doubled up, and it makes it so that way there's the right number of strings on both sides. So essentially this is like a 12 string bracelet, but there's actually 12 strands of floss. So it kind of doubles when it comes over, and then you double them up. So that's how this works. And to be able to have the really nice kumi loop that we made. Yeah, that was kind of, this is how it all works out. So yeah, this went pretty darn quickly, I have to say. Like, I was a little bit surprised at how fast I was able to actually turn this one out, even after the last one. Okay, so I don't know if you saw the last one, the one that kind of inspired this, but in that one, I had a problem where I wasn't being very efficient about how I did the knots. I even talked about it in the making it video. And because I talked about it, because I shamed myself, I became super self-conscious about it. And so if you watch, almost every time, I am really making this conscious effort as I make the diamond to do it as efficiently as possible. And that, I think, really helped to move this one along. Now, this one has some interesting change-ups that goes on during the whole pattern. So there was a bit of like making sure that I knew where I was. But see, like right there, like that purple coming back over the red, like nailing that right out the gate every single time does help speed things up. You don't have to go back and re-pick up the strings and redo the knots. It just works. There's some other things I kind of discovered that I kind of liked about doing things. I noticed that from this one, where I made the left-hand side first, I found that I wasn't as comfortable with when I do the right. So I experiment a little bit later on. You'll see where I start working out the right-hand side first, and somehow that just felt more comfortable to me. And that's strictly a personal choice. I'm not saying this is how you should do it, but you should experiment and see if there is a preference and see if it helps you along, because if it does, then absolutely you should do it. So, give it a try, see if it works for you. Maybe you prefer the left-hand side first. I don't know. Yeah, anyways, the pattern, it's like I threw interesting changes ups throughout the pattern, and it doesn't have the same, like in the original, it was just doing a thing from the beginning to the end, all the same, nothing changing, nothing dramatic going on. And that's fine. There's something nice about that. But that's not what this did. This, after having these 2 reds in a row, then puts a white in the middle, and then a single red, and then goes into where the red does like this figure 8 thing. It's really just, it's strikingly different, and I think the mind tries to figure out like what the heck is going on. And there's a symmetry because there's everything from the top half is exactly mirrored in the bottom half. So I love that part. But the fact that the colors are sort of different on either side, and there's no like little dots in the center of any of these diamonds, despite having like all these colors going around, it just really makes the whole thing super interesting, I think. So yeah, I love it. I think this really came out cool. I'm not sure how much different or what else I could add to it. This version really. Oh, you might notice too, the colors in this really came close to what was actually the colors when I made the pattern, which is something I typically never do, right? the whole reason for that was right as I was getting done with making the pattern and where I do the zoom out and we can actually kind of get a better feel for what it was. It really hit me how much I liked those colors just as they were. So, I mean, I actually went with the white, and I tried to match up the colors best as I could. Um, well, I say that the blue is kind of brighter. When I was pulling out the strings, I saw it and was like, nope, I kind of want that one for that. Um, the it's kind of weird. The red, I guess it's really showing up. It is kind of dark. I was gonna go with a very like Crayola crayon, just red, for a color. And at first, I thought the camera was picking it up wrong. But as I look at the bracelet, it really is a much darker red. And I don't know why that struck me when I was pulling the colors, but it still goes well. I think it looks really good. I think I think I finally kind of got the colors to actually match better for my videos now. I have been working on that, so hopefully we will continue to make progress of improving the channel like this as we go along. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. What else can I tell you? It's it's a relatively easy bracelet to make. Relatively. You still have to be able to do a right left knot and a left right knot. And you still have to kind of be good with tension and things like that. But it's it's not a terribly well, the pattern and stuff. That's you can totally go with the easier version and totally skip all of the crazy adding nonsense stuff to it. But I like it. I don't know. I don't know. This wasn't bad. It wasn't. I didn't have any um like moments where I was like, uh oh, like I don't know. It's fun. I would love to see your guys' version of it. I'd like to see if you change up the colors or how it works or what you do with it. I'm really curious. In which case, like, come over and join us on the Discord server where we share pictures and hang out and do stuff. If I'm not recording a video like this, I try to keep the channel open in case anybody has questions or anything. Obviously, I can't do it with this because it would record your voice coming in and saying, "Hey, what's up?" And yeah, we can't have that. Trying to be professional here, right? So yeah. So this is where it comes to the halfway point, which is cool. Like that's see, that was quick, right? Again, we've only sped this up. It's like the 4 times speed, which is the normal. So you can actually compare that to some of the other bracelets we've made that are sped up to the same speed. Mostly because trying to do this at the speed at which I make a bracelet, we would be having like an hour plus video. And then first, I don't know what I would say for so long. That would be crazy. And two, it would make well, I guess I could record it at the same time. I was going to say doing the voiceover afterwards would means it takes twice as long, but I guess if I was recording it at the real speed or whatever, that wouldn't be a problem. But it just makes more sense to speed these up to kind of make it a more manageable thing. You can from the video make out the process of how I go about doing it. You can see like what area I pick first, what I do next. It will still make sense. And it gives me a chance to like watch some kind of videos or something, which today while doing this, we actually managed to watch a movie called Air. which was really good. I really liked that. That was a lot of fun. It was about the Air Jordan and Nike, and how Nike got Michael Jordan to do a shoe with them and stuff. It was really good. It was really I the previews and stuff seemed really interesting, and so we ended up watching that, me and the wife, while making this. So that was cool. What else can I tell you? Um, I still say this would make a great bag. Honestly, I'm if it wasn't for the fact that I just did all those series a while back of different bags to make, and then ordered the string and do all that. If it wasn't for that, I think I would actually have added this onto that list of things to try. And I'm not sure how many colors I would use going all the way around it, but you could do a lot. You could just go completely crazy with the whole thing, as long as you got, the two strands of any given color. You could go crazy and make it just as, colorful as you want. Let's see if there is how many loops normally? Eight? I think eight loops, and then you do one, two, three, four colors. One base color and then four colors for each one. 8, 8, 16, 32. You could do 32 different colors around the bag, with the white being the base one. If I don't think you'd really want to take and mess with the base one, just because of um if you tried to split that up. I eh, if you didn't do the white diamonds like I put into here, you could make those different colors as well, I suppose. But the white diamonds, you're pulling from both sides, so if you have that two different colors, I think that would kind of ruin the pattern a bit. But yeah, yeah, you could do some really neat stuff with this. So I don't know. I'm just trying to throw out some ideas out there. I want to inspire you guys. I want to see you guys make awesome things. And yeah, I mean, just because I can't get around to doing it all doesn't mean that we as a group can't. So here you go. So this is past this one. This is here. Yeah, we are getting way down there already. I need I need to thank my Patreon supporters, because without them, we wouldn't be doing all these videos, right? I mean, we've been pumping out a video a day, well, weekdays, since like the end of April. And that would not be possible without my Patreon supporters helping me to be able to buy the string. And yeah, well, they actually helped me to buy some of these cameras that we're using. So there you go, right? Like, we really wouldn't be making videos without the cameras. So there you have it. Thank you guys very much. Let's see. Yeah, it's so weird to like try to keep track of, like, because it just changes. Like, yeah, this is the white diamond part again. Yeah, so I know where I am. Not far to go. Yeah, I'm kind of, now that I think about the whole, doing 32 colors, I might have enough white string to pull off doing a bag of this. So I am a little curious as to how I might change up the pattern at all if I did, where I would, how I would. Um, yeah, I have other bags in coming up. I've got the string already cut for one. So yeah, this might still happen, guys. Let me know in the comments if you think this should be a bag, because part of me is sort of itching towards this 32 color thing. I have no idea how I would if I just go with like randomly dropping them in, or do I try to do 32 colors doing some kind of a rainbow thing around it? There's a lot of possibilities. Let me know what you think in the comments. I could be really interesting. It could really be. I'm sorry. I'm often like my ADHD brain sometimes like latches onto an idea and it suddenly becomes a fixation. And the next thing I know, I'm already calculating out like, okay, so how do I do the loop? Where do I put the colors? How do I sort it? Because of the way that the colors trade off to different sides and stuff. Like say, if you're gonna double this, right? You where the yellow is, you need to have a single yellow that go shifts to the left side of that bracelet, so that way the strings come together and make the joining parts, right? So that would be really, really super important to keep track of as you're doing the loops to the bracelets. And then you, whatever you end up with, the right side of that has to match up with the next bracelet on the, the left side of that one. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. In my head, it makes sense. I totally get it. But I've done this kind of stuff for a long time, so that could be it too. Um, yeah, this was really cool though, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking around. It means a lot. Um, what else can I tell you? Like, honestly, see, I've got the bracelet in my hand and just, I'm just smitten with this thing. It really is cool. And I could definitely see trying some other experiments with this type of thing. So I guess I have to thank Minute Craft for um, sending me the original picture that kicked this whole thing off, because that's that's really where it all started from. All right, so this is the last time, and then the big reveal. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Thank you, and if you haven't already, hit the like. That would be awesome, please. All right, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.